having British citizenship status, and then they find themselves that they're looking for a job at 18, can't get a job because you've got immigration behind you. So if we are to take matters to the parliament, where do we start? I think we need to think and respect. Yes, I think overview, and I work in the community every single day of my life. I think one aspect is a lot of people generally, they have respect. Young people, even if they kill somebody, they respect. You can see that has been done at home somehow, and which I don't agree with certain terms of parenting as well. Too strict parenting is unnecessary. You know, you need to be flexible parenting, jump with your children and whatever. Not, adults are always right and children are not. So yeah, I don't know, I've just gone on, perhaps I've covered a few things about, overall, in summary, it's just to think about, behind every crime committed or every individual committing a crime, there are issues, and issues from what type of parenting did you receive, which is very true, and the household that you brought up, single parent household, domestic violence, and a lack of male role models, or just a male figure in the family or in your life who says something positive. And lack of love for one another. Love is.
I kind of disagree with you because I was brought up in Africa. And at the age of 3, I had my mom. My mom wasn't there anymore. And at the age of 10, I was cooking for my dad and for the whole family. I wonder why I still cook. Because I started cooking at the age of 10. I couldn't even cook rice. I remember the first time I started cooking rice and it became lumpy and I ran to school, because I didn't know what to do. And my cousin said, oh, the rice is lumpy because you didn't stir it. And I'm like, yeah, I've learned. So I came to this country. I was with my dad. And at the age of 13, he moved. And I was left with my brothers, my siblings, and that was Africa. So I think society has a lot to play. Society has a lot to do in this system, because when we went to school, we could go to school by ourselves. From 13 till I finished school, I was on my own. I was in a 3-bedroom house. On my own. I go to school, but I've already been taught by my parents that I have to go to school. And after school, I have to go to the market. I have to come home and cook. And that is what I did religiously, because that was how I was brought up. And that is what society expected of us, But there's so much in this society, as the lady said, health and safety, policies, all these kind of things. It is destructive. People are not human anymore. We are like robots. We are being told what to do. You cannot even meet someone on the street and give them a hug. And they will say, oh, it's abuse. It depends on your mind. It depends on your mindset. But now all these things we're being taught, all these things we're going through, we are all becoming sensitive that we don't even want to approach each other anymore. You understand?
But there is reality. There is real exploitation. Some people will touch you, not for good reasons. I think that's the dilemma. Yeah, and some people have been touched when they were young, inappropriately, that it freaks them out. As I mentioned mental health, and I mentioned there's a lot of abuses that were carried out when they're young.
I'm just talking about natural. I do understand what you're saying. I mean, it does happen, but. I'm just saying, like, extreme. Like she was saying that, when the child goes to school and the socks is down, the teacher wouldn't even say your socks is down, and the child is going to cry to the mom, and the mom will come to school and say, oh, your teacher abused my child. No, it wasn't like that in our day. My dad was actually a headmaster, for 3 schools, missionary schools, so that's why in this country, even when it comes to racism, I don't know what is racism. I don't care, because I know I belong everywhere. I belong everywhere, and everyone belongs with me as a friend or family or neighbor or everything. I do embrace everyone because we were brought up in that kind of environment. We were brought up in schools. where we had white people, teaching us. Actually, they built the school for us, and we were taught. We were taught to stand up and speak. We were taught to lift our hands high. We were taught to sew. We were taught to do a lot of things. That coming here, I wasn't taught anything in this country when it comes to basic motherly instinct or all those kind of things. I was taught that. So these things are all, is community, is society. Things, people, you have different people going into government. You have people who are not nice, and when they go into government, they bring out bad policies. You have people who are maybe abusive, when they go into society, they bring out bad policies. Policies that they know is destructive to society, destructive to the human race, but then that is them, that is what they want to implement. So these are all the things. We can't just blame like the kids. These kids, we brought them into this world, and we shouldn't leave these kids to go astray. We shouldn't leave these kids to go to prison. We shouldn't leave these kids to suffer for what we have done. We brought them to this world, and society and politics and government should not, right now, statistics or fact, there are a lot of youngsters in prison. They are saying, we are talking about Brexit now, but we relied on East Europeans or Europeans to come to this country and help us out with work and everything. Whilst the children that are born here, they are busy sending them to prison. If every one of you were sent to prison, how would you learn trade? How would you fend for yourself? How would you feed yourself? So these are the kind of things we are all coming together. We're calling communities, we're calling families, come together, let's talk about these things. Let's don't say, oh, the government is right. No, let's don't say this world belongs to mortality, to human beings. We have to live on this planet. We have to enjoy this planet. And our kids have to stand and enjoy the beauty of the world. Not just be afraid. Like she was saying, oh, I'm scared because I'm walking on the street. Someone is afraid. They've been arrested by the police and all those kinds of things.
I think that is stereotype. I think that's one of the issues.
So it is there. Yes, So we have to come together as a community. We have to come together. We have to talk to the government. We have to become one. We have to speak sense to them. We have to tell them that, look, these are our children. You cannot hurt them anymore. Because, let's say, for example, you take drugs out. You're talking about drugs on the street.
Yes.
Have you ever, if you go to that child's parents' house,
No,
they don't know what is powder or what you're talking about. They've never seen it. So where is it coming from? You are the government. You own immigration. You own the ports and everything around. You tell us where these drugs are coming from. When you tell us where these drugs are coming from, how are these children getting hold of these drugs? Then why are you punishing them? Why are you punishing them? This is why we're here. This is why we're calling families, we're calling communities to come together. We have to talk. We have to stand up.
We have to talk in hand. I think you're quite like Jade. If your sons could volunteer a group, and let's be practical and proactive. If your sons, I'm not saying now, in terms of what they can bring back to the community, in terms of providing like guitar lessons or some rock and roll stuff for young people, boys. And everybody, I'm sure everybody who turned up today, they've got something.
Yeah.
And this is evidence that they are the forward ones. So